Good morning. I'm Chris from Worthington Home. It is close to 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Eric and I are going to head to an estate sale in Woodbridge, Connecticut. We almost didn't go because we've been so busy with so many projects. If I'm honest, we're starting to feel kind of burned out. But then I thought maybe the best way to recharge our batteries is to just do some thrifting. Go to an estate sale. I love Woodbridge. I lived in Woodbridge for years and years. There's so many great stores and restaurants and things all around there. I thought to reconnect to what I love is probably the best antidote for feeling a little bit burned out. So we thought, let's not go first thing and pick up things like our life depends on it. Let's not buy into all of the stress of those first moments of a sale. Let's arrive when we do. Let's just check things out without pressure. Let's enjoy this beautiful day. And that's the plan. So I'm excited for it, and I hope you'll join us. Let's go. It's such a beautiful day for a drive. It's cold outside, but toasty warm in the truck. We really didn't park that far away, but this is the longest walk to the house ever. The good news is that we're seeing lots of people leaving with things in their hands, and that's got to be a good sign, right? This sidewalk is like a boardwalk. I'm kind of liking it. Let's see what they have inside the house. Right up these stairs and through this door. All right, there are some interesting things on the table. Ooh, I really like that print very much. That fox has an interesting look. It seems very amused. There's great colors in that flower print. And that is quite a collection of recliners. I like these pewter pieces, but pewter just doesn't sell well for me, unfortunately. So even though they're tempting me, I think I'm going to leave them here for today. Here we are in what seems to be the master bedroom. There's not a lot for sale here, but definitely some furniture pieces. I want to get a sense of this mid-century modern piece. I'm not even sure what you would call that. $95 for this. Of course, this is just day one of the sale, and this chaise is $155. It seems to be in good condition. Here are lots of games that I recognize from my childhood. I'm going right back looking at these. That is a massive shell print. And it's a very pretty view outside. Hey, I know that guy. That is Eric. He's just been to some of the outbuildings, and it looks like he's got some interesting rusty finds in his hands. I'll be meeting him on the first floor very shortly. I'm just going to finish checking out the spaces on the second floor. Cute little dresser. Looks like there's some artwork up here. Now I'm in another bedroom. There's some things in the closet, some boxes. Like I said, not a lot of stuff up here. I like this. This is really nice. This looks hand done. I wonder if this is an original watercolor. Nothing's giving me a clue about that, but I'm going to take it downstairs and ask about it. Nice stationary bike. I could really use one of those. $75. Not a bad buy, but where on earth would I put it? Nowhere. That's where. Now I'm in the basement. You never know what you might find in a basement. This looks like a lot of guy stuff, if you ask me, but I can occasionally find some gems in a basement. It's an interesting old tool chest right there. Looks like it's been very picked over down here, which is pretty typical. I find that a lot of times the men go right to the basement and the garage. I know Eric always does anyway. All right, let's head back upstairs. I think I've seen all there is to see down here. I'm just waiting for Eric to come back with the truck. And while I wait, I'll show you his pile of finds. Here they are. He's got some rusty ice tongs and a tool chest and what looks like an old aquarium stand. All right, we are headed out. It's still very early. It didn't take us long to go through this house, so we're contemplating making another stop. There might be a little bit of lunch in our future first. We'll see how it goes. Well, we decided to take a pit stop at Whatnot Shop. This is my father-in-law's store in New Britain. He sells lots of secondhand stuff. He has lots of bargains, but when you shop here, you've got to be prepared to do lots of digging. I definitely specialize in digging. I don't find that daunting at all. Nice lamp, by the way. So I want to see if I can find something interesting. I haven't been here in months. That's a pretty piece. Looks like there's some water damage on the bottom. Too bad. And here's the store. I hear my father-in-law's voice in the distance, and here he is.
Oh, how are you doing?
Good.
Wonderful.
There are so many interesting typewriters in this store. If you are an old typewriter person, you could find no better place to spend your time. These Christmas candles look like they're in their old original box. I like the colors on these. And as I look up, I see a lot more typewriters. I am showing you only the tiniest portion of the collection of typewriters in this place. I'm checking out some of this art. This is an interesting piece. Looks like it's signed. It's got the mirror. And I'm just going to see if there's any other interesting pieces here. Nice pewter candlesticks. I'm having a pewter kind of day. I like the base especially. I don't see any particular maker mark on this. I don't know if you can get a good look at this old vintage safe, but it has fabulous colors and I love the font on this. There's lots of space inside. Cool piece. I like these lamps a lot too. They don't have shades and there's that eagle lamp right next to them. He often has good lighting here. This is a really interesting vintage photograph. I love the frame. And there's a big stack of old records, including this guy, Victor Records, made in Camden, New Jersey. I'm just checking it out to see if I can find a date on this. I'm not having much luck. This is a great old photograph. It looks like maybe a class picture. There's some old National Geographics and some 8-tracks. My dad had an 8-track player. We have some other audio tapes. We're still picking through. Oh, this is a really cute picture from Good Night Moon. That brings me right back. Zach loved that book when he was a kid, and I loved it when I was a kid. Now I'm kind of wishing I had brought that home with me, but I didn't. There's some interesting little chalkboards here on stands. Those could be a lot of fun for a child. This is what I'm saying. You never know what you're going to find in this place. Here we've got a big old collection of shovels and other kinds of metal pieces that you just don't see anymore. Look at that old standing radio in the background. That is a fabulous piece, is it not? And I wonder if that's a magazine stand maybe. There's some old vintage sleds in this garage portion of the building. It's quite nippy in here. We won't take too much time. Eric's already ahead of me as usual. This is a very pretty mirror. If I needed a mirror in my house, I would probably snag this one. It looks a lot like the mirror I have in the dining room over my Limoges china cabinet. And this magazine rack has also a really interesting look. All right, we're headed out. Here is some signage from the store in case you're curious about it. I'm really glad that we stopped by here today. I shouldn't leave such a long time in between visits. I just never know what he's gonna find, and it's nice to make frequent stops in case anything really special makes it into the store. This is a great old building. In fact, New Britain is full of really interesting and historic buildings, so it's always fun to drive through. So we're making our way back home. Of course, as always, when we get there, I'll be sure to lay out all of my finds and show them to you. I hope you like what I picked up. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you do. Eric and I had a great time at the estate sale the other day. I'm so glad we ended up going. It was tempting to skip it because it didn't look phenomenally good. It just looked okay. And it was in Woodbridge, which, isn't that far away. But Eric had a lot of things to do and he was really eager to make some progress on some projects. And I didn't especially want to go without him. At one point it was going to, and then he said, "Oh, wait for me, I'm going to join you after all." So we did it. And I'm so glad we did. It was just a really fun day. I love spending time in Woodbridge. It's where I used to live. It's my favorite town on earth. And it just feels nice like going home. I love Berlin too, but something about Woodbridge. I also went to school in Woodbridge, so deep roots there. Always fun to go back and return. So this estate sale was not ginormous. There were a lot of outbuildings. I didn't even go in the outbuildings, to tell you the truth. Eric did that. It was the first place he went. There were, I think, like 4 outbuildings. And because they weren't like weather tight, they weren't like super strong structures, they were kind of put up hastily. Things did not fare well in them. There had been a lot of like rodent infestation, the kinds of stuff. Damp gets in, the weather is extreme, and then the things inside don't do that well. So lots of rust and wear on the items in those spaces. That said, he did find a few things that he was excited about, so that was good. And I found some really cute things in the house, including these 2 character jugs. So these are really cute. These are both made by Staffordshire, made in England. So this is Henry VIII, and this is a Yeoman of the Guard. So they have a great look. They were $8 each, but the person who was running the estate sale agreed to take 10 for both. So I thought that was a fair price. I love Henry VIII in particular. He's such a dastardly character from our past, but kind of fun to think about and talk about. He was so bad, he was good. Let's put it that way. So I picked those up. And I also picked up this really pretty marigold vase, which I have already put away with all of my fall decor. So I hope I thought to take a footage of it before I did that. If I didn't, I can just tell you, it was a tall, skinny vase in a marigold carnival glass. It looked so beautiful with my other pieces, and I plan to bring it out every fall because I think carnival glass in the fall is perfection. So I was happy to find that. And then I got a good amount of artwork that I'm really happy with. So I'll show you this pretty little watercolor. This was actually in the closet, but this is an original watercolor. You can see it's got this great barn scene. And I think, is this signed anywhere? No, it's not signed anywhere, but it's really beautiful. And the frame has a velvet inset. There is a little bit of damage on the velvet inset right here, you see. Velvet is a tricky material for that purpose, although it does look beautiful. So I was happy to pick up this little scene. I think it's absolutely lovely. I also picked up this framed wall art. This is really large and it has such an interesting look. It makes me think of like a Scandinavian scene of some kind. I don't know why I feel that way, but it's how I feel. It has kind of a 70s quality to it as well. The frame and mat are probably not bringing out the best in it, but that could be corrected. And I thought this was just, I don't know, really lovely. It just had a quality. It was calling out to me. And then I picked up this painting, which is a little on the naughty side. You can't tell me she is thinking of anything good. She is definitely looking for trouble in all the wrong places, if you ask me. But I loved her costume and I thought the colors were really pretty. She has such a lovely face that I picked it up. So I'll show you the back here. Here's the back. This isn't signed in any way. I don't know if this, oh no, wait, here is a signature down here. I don't know if this is a reproduction of some other kind of painting or what is happening here, but I thought it was really interesting, so I picked it up. I fell absolutely in love with this pilgrim scene. This is an old guy. I love this. Look at the colors and the facial expressions. It is so interesting. There is some writing on the bottom. Let's see, John Alden and Priscilla wedded. That is just beautiful. So I'm keeping this, and this will become part of my Thanksgiving decor. And this will be displayed along with the other pilgrim picture I had picked up this year, which I also have really, really loved. I just took it down because, of course, I'm decorating for the Christmas season now, but I have been very happy with this. It was in my kitchen. It's where the other one will probably go with it next year. And so these will go in careful storage until I'm ready to bring them out again. But I'm so happy to have found a second one because I enjoyed the first one so much. So if one is good, two is better. Am I right? I've accidentally already put this framed wall art in storage because it's going to be going to my store space very soon. But this is a beautiful Currier and Ives print from 1871. It says American Railroad Scene. It's got great colors and a great sense of movement. I love things with trains on them. It reminds me of when Zach was young. I also think the snowy scene is perfect for December or any of the winter months, really. And I'm also very drawn to Currier and Ives prints. I think they're just so charming and nostalgic. So I picked up this pretty piece at the estate sale. I also really liked the solid wood frame that this is in. So all around a great piece. My plan is to bring this to my booth space at some point soon. I haven't made it yet, but it is definitely queued up to head over to that area. If you're interested though, just let me know. After the estate sale, we decided to go visit my father-in-law's store, Whatnot Shop in New Britain. I had not been there in a while. It's a great store to go to if you like to hunt and dig and really search for buried treasure. There's a lot of stuff there that you would tend to pass by, but if you dig, you will find really good things. I always do without fail. I've even found Port Marion there, which is really a good find if you can pull it off. So we stopped by there. It was really my request. I just wanted to see what kinds of stuff he had. And I did pick up a few interesting things. So in no particular order, I picked up another one of these great old universal scales. I had bought one when I was in Woodstock not that long ago, and I loved mine. And it turned out that my father-in-law also had one. So it's the same one. This one was made in New Britain, Connecticut. And I am going to be bringing this to my booth space at some point, unless somebody watching this video would like to reach out and maybe pick it up. We can always arrange that. But I thought it was a great piece. And so I'm going to see how it does. I also oddly picked up, reach over, I picked up two rakes. You're probably wondering why I picked up rakes. I picked them up because I thought they were fascinating. So let me turn this one around. So this is a very special kind of rake. And I'm wondering if you can guess what this is for. So I'm going to give you a minute to just kind of think about it. Obviously, we associate rakes with leaves, right? But this is not for that purpose. And have you guessed? I would not be surprised if you have. I have to say, I can tell by the comments I receive on this channel that the viewers of this channel are wiser than I am. I did not know what this was. This is a rake for a shag rug. So this is meant to arrange your shag rug so it looks nice and smooth. And this is very, very gentle, so this isn't going to snag it or hurt it in any way. It has a back stamp that says, I don't know, something to do with a rug. I'll see if I can look it up and put it in the description box if I can find anything more out about it. But yes, so if you have an unruly shag rug in your life, I've got you covered with this awesome rake. It's so weird. I love weird things. I also bought a rake for leaves because, oops, put that down. Here we go. Because I love the color. I know, another weird reason. I never said I wasn't weird, so you can't say I didn't warn you. I loved the green in this. Isn't that fabulous? And of course, they don't make metal rakes anymore. This is a relic from a bygone era. My grandparents had rakes like this in their lives. What would I give to go back to their basement and garage and see all of their cool stuff that I would kill for today? But yeah, I don't know. Just weirdly, I liked it. I liked the green. I liked the metal. And I can tell that I married the right person. I already knew that I did, of course, but I could tell because when I picked up those two weird metal rakes, Eric didn't think I was nuts. He thought they were awesome. So, you know, we're a couple of cuckoos in the same nest, I suppose. Oh, I should clarify. I said that I bought these things. That's not strictly true. So what I did was I took these things with my father-in-law's permission and full knowledge, and if I sell them, we'll split the profit. So that's the plan there. So I'm not being misleading. I found this. So this set of like jingle bells on a leather strap, very old school. I think I might hang this up on my door. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I thought it would be really fun to hang it on the door and have the bells go off when the door opens and closes. My only worry is that it might cause Wilson to pant more than he's panting now. Oh, he just stopped. Or to make Licorice bark more than she does now. So I don't know if this will add to the mayhem in our world. If it does, I'll rethink it. And I also found, where are they? I found these bells. These really look old. You can find a lot of reproduction bells like this now, but these are the real thing. So these are really cool old, oh, they look like they're copper bells. They're wrapped around wire. They're very dusty and dirty. They need a good clean. Don't they make a pretty sound? I thought they were really interesting. Oops. So I picked them up. Let me hold them up this way. Yeah. I think they're really awesome. So I grabbed them. I loved this big basket. I am a fan of baskets, as you know, if you watch this channel. In fact, I'm told that I sold a big basket at my booth space today. So yay. This one was handmade by Sarah Lund. That's what it says here. So Sarah Lund had some serious basket making skills. My intent is to bring that to my booth space. Again, I don't want to keep saying it, but unless somebody who's watching this wants it and can pick it up, and then we'll figure it out. And I also really loved this basket. This also looks like a nice old one. It has a great handmade look. This one is not signed that I can tell. Here's the bottom, but I thought it was really a beauty. So I picked this one up as well. I picked up this old Underwood typewriter. Excuse the mess. This is the front parlor where I have been keeping things that have not yet been processed in the ways that they need to be. This needs a lot of cleaning. It's quite dirty, but you can see the cool keys. The font on these letters is so fabulous, and this has some really interesting writing on it. Let me see, was there any down here? No, it wasn't down here. It was mostly just right up here. The ribbon is not here, so I would definitely classify this as decorative unless somebody wants to do a restoration project, but that sounds hard. It's just sitting here on a bag because I didn't want it to in any way damage the rug. I was thinking that this would be cool in my booth space, but I'm not sure that the audience exists at Quality Consignment for this kind of old rusty piece. This might be more of like a flea market guy. I'm not really sure. So I'm just kind of thinking about it. And then I bought, actually I might lay this down. Let me lay this down, I think is the better way. This is another really rusty guy, but this is an old, I think this is like an old cobbler's piece to make shoes. Definitely a very rusty, interesting piece. And I thought it was weird, and so I picked it up. I found this interesting wooden stool that Iris is standing on right now. She is riveted. This needs some cleaning up. I might repaint it and bring it to my booth space because I think it could provide some elevation and storage. I think it was a really good find. I found this Christmas book. I thought this was so cute. A Yankee Christmas, Feast, Treats, Crafts, and Traditions of Wintertime in New England. This is right up my alley. Has really beautiful illustrations. Some little projects in here. All kinds of really nice topics. Some recipes. Yeah, I thought this was a really good find. This is going to my store space. And then I also found this box full of little Lennox Jingle Bell ornaments. So I am going to sell these at my store as well. Not sure if I'm going to do these singly or as a whole lot. Probably singly makes the most sense. These are Lennox but made in China. They're still very pretty though. So I thought they were a really nice find. I picked up this sled. I really like this sled. I already had a vintage sled in my collection of things, but I thought this one was in such nice shape and it's so very big. I love the graphics on this. I know it's kind of dark in this space right now, but can you see the eagle? It's very interesting with the shield and the arrows and the manufacturer's label. I put this little horn on it and a ribbon, so it's sitting here in my foyer as part of my Christmas decor. Whoops, I just dropped something. As I said before, I always had a little vintage sled here, but mine wasn't quite as nice as this. So the one that I had ended up going to my booth space, and it actually sold, so that was good news. And, oops, it's hard to see. Let's see, there we go. Now you can see flexible flyer. So I was really glad to add this to my Christmas decor. And I think it looks really nice sitting here in the unfinished foyer. Not that I'm bitter. I also picked up this very vintage wooden ironing board. I really love these old ironing boards. I never saw one before I went to my father-in-law's store. He has several. He always seems to have them in stock. I had only ever seen the kind of typical metal ones that I think we're all pretty familiar with, but the wood is really interesting. Let me turn it around so you can see the bottom. Here it says, "Do not pull this leg to open, raise both back legs." And this is made by National something Co. Washboard Co., maybe? So I think this is quite an old guy. I wish I had better lighting for you. I do apologize, but I'm filming this in the evening and it's a little shadowy, but I'm hoping that you get the general idea. So my thought was that this could be interesting in my booth space. I think it might give some interesting height. I don't know if people will just think it's weird, but I don't know. I thought it was fun and I thought it was worth a try, so I brought it home with me and we'll see how it does. Here are the bells that I picked up at my father-in-law's store. I showed this little clip in a previous video, but I thought it made sense to show it again just because it was part of the haul. So you can see I hung it here on the kitchen door with a red velvet ribbon and some faux greenery just for a little bit of a holiday touch. And I love the way it jingles when the door opens and closes. It was a good find. I am so excited to show you what is in this box. So this just arrived for me yesterday, and I should tell you, this segment of the video is in collaboration with Fitville, and they kindly invited me to pick out a pair of their fabulous shoes so I could share my thoughts with you. And so here is what I picked out, and I'm dying to try them on. I haven't tried them on yet, but now is the time. So here is a better look at the shoes. And I don't know if you're feeling the vibe that I was after, but I loved these because they reminded me a lot of Uggs. I have several pairs of Uggs, and although I really think they're awesome, I don't wear them that much, if I'm honest, for a couple of reasons. One of them is that I find them to be a little bit too hot and a little bit too heavy, and that just makes for unhappy tootsies. These are so light, oh my gosh, and even though they're warm and cozy inside, they're not like super duper steamy hot. They're just the right amount of warm for winter in Connecticut. So I love that about these, but there are other really good things about these as well. They're more supportive than Uggs, and although my feet are in good condition, all things said and done, these are actually designed, look at how the Velcro comes up. These are designed for people who have diabetes or neuropathy because the footbed where your toes go, your toe box, is nice and wide, so it won't cause increased pressure or pain in that area. And that makes me really contemplate on how far we've come with shoes over the ages. I can remember when my grandmother needed to use orthopedic shoes, and she was very fashionable. She really struggled to find a pair of shoes that met the needs of her feet while also allowing her to kind of feel like herself in a stylistic way. So she asked me at the time I was in college, she gave me a brochure. She had like 15 pairs of shoes to choose from, and she asked me to pick out the ones that would make her feel the least like an old lady. Yikes, so depressing, right? I did my best, but back then there just wasn't that much to choose from. Now, if you have any kind of foot problems, you can get really stylish shoes that will meet your needs and still allow you to be you. And I think that's so important. So I'm gonna put these on. So here they are on my feet. I'm not wearing the right pair of pants to really do these justice, but they are so comfortable. And again, what's so nice is because of this Velcro feature, you don't have to squeeze your shoes onto your feet if your feet are swollen or tender or sore or whatever. You can just get them on with ease, and that is so nice. I also love how there's a little bit of a heel here. I cannot wear flat shoes. I get a lot of pain if I try to do that. So these have just the right amount of support. And like I said, they look big and chunky, but they are very light and surprisingly supportive without being tight. Yeah, these are gonna become my new go-to as opposed to these sad sneakers which have seen better days. A girl really shouldn't garden in her shoes unless they are for the purposes of gardening. But I love these. The shoes I picked out are called the Fitville Women's Easy Top Diabetic Winter Boots. Bear in mind, you don't have to have diabetes to love these boots. They're incredibly comfortable and a stylish choice for these cold winter months in New England. I know these are going to look perfect with my favorite pair of jeans. Just so you have a bit of background, Fitville is an athleisure wear company that specializes in outdoor footwear, work shoes, and comfortable home shoes like mine with a wide toe box. Their products are high quality and designed to reduce pain, improve comfort, and promote overall health when walking or exercising. Right now, they're having a 20% off sale for the holidays, so be sure to check out their website below. I'll also provide a link in the description box of this video. Oh, and bear in mind, they carry men's shoes too. Indy is greatly enjoying the Fitville box, as you can see. Comfortable shoes and a box that serves as a cat bed. What more could I possibly ask for? I do feel at this point, just so that I'm not misleading, I should point out that the Maine Coon cat does not usually come with the Fitville shoes. You have to purchase a Maine Coon cat separately. Mine is not for sale, but I'm sure there are many wonderful cats out there waiting for a fantastic home. Better yet, just buy the shoes because they're cheaper and they won't kill your house. That's a good thing, right? So those were my finds for my thrifting day. I have to say, it was such a good idea to go. I'm so glad I did. I really needed to get back out there. I had been very elbows deep in other kinds of projects that were also really positive and worthwhile. Estate sales and eBay stuff and booth space and all the things, the holidays, blah, blah, blah. It felt just really good. It was just really energizing to get back out there and to be surrounded by some old cool things, which I love, and to hunt and peck and dig and all the things. So that was my haul. I hope you liked it. It was a really fun time. Oh, and I didn't mention, after the estate sale in Woodbridge and before we went to Eric's dad's store in New Britain, we stopped off at Katz's Deli, which I love so much I don't know if it's Woodbridge or New Haven. It's right on the line. And I picked up my favorite. I picked up a great big container of matzo ball soup. That was amazing, as it always is. And we had a little bit of lunch, and we might have split a naughty cookie. We did not go to Starbucks. A little bit of restraint there. And it was just nice to have a day puttering around doing the kinds of things we love best. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.